Hey there, welcome back to Two Wheel Trends, your go-to source for everything motorcycles. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about bikes of 2025, the Royal Enfield Meteor 350. This is a bike that has a lot of people buzzing, especially those who appreciate that classic cruiser feel but want something manageable in size and price. Whether you're a new rider or someone who's been around bikes for years, the Meteor 350 has something to offer. So, let's get into every little detail, from the look to the ride, and see if it's worth all the hype. Stick around till the end to get my final thoughts on this 2025 Meteor 350. Starting from the front, the Meteor 350 sticks with the traditional cruiser style, but there's something about the way it's executed that feels right at home in 2025. The round headlight is an immediate throwback to classic motorcycles, and it's got that timeless appeal. Royal Enfield has fitted it with a halogen bulb and lettering around the outside, giving the bike a nice mix of old-school charm and modern technology. The headlamp cowl around the light is subtle but effective, framing the front in a way that makes the bike look strong and upright without being bulky. As you move down, the front suspension is a telescopic fork setup with 41mm forks and 130mm of travel, which adds a bit of comfort, especially for city commutes or cruising on bumpy roads. The fork design is nothing revolutionary, but it works well with the overall design of the bike. The front fender is minimalistic, hugging the tire closely but leaving enough clearance to avoid looking cluttered. And speaking of the tires, they're 19-inch front tires wrapped in a 190 profile. These tires are perfectly suited for a cruiser, providing a balance of grip and comfort, which you'll appreciate on longer rides. From the side, the Royal Enfield Meteor 350 is unmistakably a cruiser. The bike has that long and low profile that cruiser fans adore. The fuel tank is a teardrop shape with a slight bulge, giving it an aesthetically pleasing yet functional design. With the 15-liter fuel tank, you're not constantly stopping for gas, which is nice, especially if you're planning longer rides. The chrome Royal Enfield branding on the tank is subtle yet classy, and it adds a sense of premium craftsmanship without being too in-your-face. The side profile of the engine itself adds a lot to the bike's overall visual appeal. The black tout engine casing contrasts nicely with the bits of chrome on the exhaust and the head. The exhaust follows the cruiser vibe, long and slightly upswept, with a chrome finish that complements the Meteor's styling. The exhaust note is also worth mentioning. While it's not aggressive, it has that signature Royal Enfield thump that's deep and satisfying to hear when you're out on the road. Moving back, you get a clear view of the foot pegs, which are positioned forward for that laid-back cruiser stance. The seat is a two-piece unit with decent cushioning and enough length to offer comfort for both the rider and the pillion. Royal Enfield has added a bit of detail to the seat with stitching that makes it look more premium than you'd expect at this price point. Looking at the Meteor 350 from the rear, the design continues to be cohesive and clean. The tail light setup is modern but simply a round LED brake light that fits perfectly with the overall retro modern theme. Below the brake light, the rear fender mirrors the front with a similarly minimalist approach, hugging the tire closely but leaving enough space for practicality. The bike comes with 17-inch rear wheels, shod with 140/70 tires. These, again, are more about comfort and balance rather than sporty performance, which suits the Meteor's laid-back cruiser DNA. The turn signals are also LED units, small yet functional. They aren't overly large or flashy, which is a good thing because they blend in with the design rather than standing out too much. One thing you'll appreciate is the inclusion of a small, but sturdy, backrest for the pillion, which isn't always standard on cruisers of this size. It's just enough to give your passenger that extra bit of support on longer rides. Now let's talk about what powers this beauty. Under the tank, the Royal Enfield Meteor 350 comes equipped with a 349cc, air oil-cooled, single-cylinder engine. It's not a high-performance beast, but it's perfect for what this bike is designed for: easy cruising and comfortable rides. The engine produces about 20.2 horsepower at 6,100 RPM and 27 Newton-meters of torque at 4,000 RPM. That may not sound like much compared to sportier bikes, but the way the Meteor delivers power is more about smoothness and consistency than outright speed. The engine's design is simple, reliable, and meant for longevity. It has a single overhead camshaft (SOC) with fuel injection, which helps it run smoothly and efficiently. You're not going to get that high revving excitement that some bikes offer, but you will get a steady, predictable delivery of power, especially in the low and mid-range. This makes the Meteor ideal for city commuting, where you don't need massive amounts of horsepower, but it also holds its own on open highways when you want to relax into a steady cruise. One thing that stands out is how smooth the engine feels. Royal Enfield has worked on reducing vibrations in this model, and you can really feel the difference compared to older models. The counterbalancer shaft works well in keeping the vibrations at bay, even when you're pushing the bike toward its limits. That means less fatigue on long rides, which is always a win. As for performance, the Meteor 350 isn't about raw power, but it's more than enough for the kind of riding most people will do on this bike. The 5-speed gearbox is smooth and easy to use, with well-spaced gears that make it easy to find the right gear whether you're cruising through the city or out on the open road. The clutch is light, which makes shifting feel effortless, especially in stop-and-go traffic. On the road, the Meteor 350 feels well-balanced. The bike has a curb weight of about 191 kilograms, 421 pounds, which isn't exactly lightweight, but it's still easy to maneuver, especially at low speeds. The weight distribution is spot on, and once you're moving, the bike feels stable and planted, which is exactly what you want from a cruiser. One area where the Meteor 350 excels is in comfort. The suspension setup of 41mm telescopic forks in the front and twin shocks with adjustable preload at the rear soaks up bumps and uneven surfaces well. It's not going to handle sharp corners or aggressive riding like a sport bike, but that's not what it's built for. Instead, you get a ride that's comfortable for longer journeys, even over rougher roads. The low seat height of 765mm also makes it accessible to a wide range of riders, so whether you're tall or shorter, you should find it easy to flat-foot this bike at a stop. When it comes to braking, the Meteor 350 is equipped with disc brakes on both ends of 300mm in the front and 270mm in the rear. The brakes offer adequate stopping power for the weight and performance of the bike. Dual-channel ABS is standard, which is a great feature to have for added safety, especially if you're riding in wet or slippery conditions. Now let's get into the pricing of the 2025 Royal Enfield Meteor 350. Depending on your location, the pricing can vary, but you're looking at a ballpark figure of around $5,500 to $6,000 for the base model. Of course, there are a few different trims and variants you can choose from, including custom color options and accessories that can push the price up a bit. Still, for what you're getting, a reliable, comfortable cruiser with solid build quality, the price is incredibly reasonable. It's one of the most affordable cruiser-style bikes on the market, especially when you consider the features you're getting, like ABS, LED lighting, and a decent fuel injection system. For those who want a bit more personalization, Royal Enfield offers a range of optional accessories for the Meteor 350, from windshields to saddlebags to additional footrests. These options give you the ability to tailor the bike more closely to your style and riding needs, which is another nice touch that adds value to the overall package. So, after going over everything, what's the final word on the 2025 Royal Enfield Meteor 350? This is a bike that knows exactly what it wants to be, and it nails that role perfectly. It's not a performance monster, but it's not trying to be. What it is a smooth, comfortable, and stylish cruiser that's perfect for city rides, weekend getaways, and long, relaxed journeys. It's affordable, accessible, and offers just the right mix of old-school charm and modern functionality. For anyone looking for a reliable daily rider or a cruiser to hit the open roads with, the Meteor 350 is a solid choice. It's especially appealing to newer riders or those who don't want the bulk or aggressive stance of bigger bikes. The 2025 version is more refined, smoother, and better balanced than ever. and Royal Enfield has done a great job at addressing the small issues from previous models. That's it for today's review. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for Two Wheel.